You caught me off guard. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit here, but we're going to be okay, right? We are going to be okay. We're going to be fine. Facebook is acting out as usual. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? It's Facebook, right? And you wonder why there are other streaming platforms and we need to get better interfaces. So Facebook is acting out as Facebook does. So, what can I tell you? Just as I was ready to go live, Facebook pulled a fast one on me. And so now I don't even know. I don't even know. Am I live yet? Am I live? Am I live? We'll see. So, welcome to our show this morning. I have a very interesting topic to talk about that I'm sure that many of you will find interesting. And I want to generate some kind of comments. I want to hear what you have to say about what I'm going to talk about. It's a very intimate and personal matter. And I wanted to, why am I wearing a hoodie, y'all? Tell me. It is, I live in Michigan and the weather changes, right? So today, one forecast said it was going to be something like, oh my gosh, this can't even come off. Let me try and help myself here since my helper is behind the camera and can't step forth. So I kind of have to do this myself. So one forecast said we were going to have um, summer like weather. Another forecast said that we're going to have, it's going to be, listen to this. This is what tickled me. It's one forecast, the one that I think is most accurate. Usually that's the one I follow. We're going to have weather in the temperatures in the 60s, so it's going to feel unseasonably cool and so on. So I said, okay, then maybe I should wear leggings, wear something and perhaps wear, something to cover my feet and not sandals. Okay. But then when I was getting dressed this morning, Channel 62, CBS, right? The forecaster said it's going to be a high of 73. I was just about to so I said, heck no, at 73, I'm going to be hot wearing leggings. Let me put on a dress. I put on a dress and I stepped outside and I'm like, whoa, good thing I keep a hoodie in my car all the time because you live in Michigan, right? So, but then it started raining. That was the thing that got to me. And now, when it rains, what happens? It gets cooler. So it started raining and before you know it, everything just went crazy. So I was like, whatever, whatever. So I'm about, I had to literally contain myself from tweeting them that your forecast sucks because that particular channel, their forecast consistently is always off compared to NBC or ABC and so on. I don't watch Fox. I couldn't tell you what Fox is like. And when you talk to people and they said, did you see this on Fox? I'm like, oh, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So I wanted to talk this morning about something so intimate for me and personal, deeply personal, because it's something I've tried. I've walked around it. It's kind of like I walked on eggshells around this. I probably should not have, but I did. And that was not a good idea. Not that it wasn't a good idea, but the last time I talked about it, it generated some inboxes from folks who reached out to me, women in particular. And for men, maybe they thought it's something funny. You just want to see a woman and imagine what women look like when we're getting dressed or whatever. But for most of us women, this is something that is very, very, very serious. It's something that we have to talk about because it's something that matters to us. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook feed on my Mac. It's not working. It's just not working. I want to shut the whole thing down and start again. I don't know what the heck is going on. But what happens is that I have found that we're having, as women, our bodies change as we grow. So when you're a kid, then you enter puberty, prepubescence, then you enter puberty, then you enter adolescence, then you enter adulthood, right? And then you enter the childbearing years where hormones and so on determine how your boobs react to life. And then you enter the latter stages where you enter into menopause. By this time, your boobs are out there, they're done. And you enter menopause. And so your hormones are still fluctuating, maybe too much, maybe not so much, whatever, but it impacts our boobs. And over time, what I have found is that clothing companies have done us a disservice. Um, Over the years, they have given us all kinds of implements to wear on our breasts. Uh, I've always felt like they could have made bras that could enhance your boobs. I don't know that you have to resort to plastic surgery, but it's up to the end user, and it's up to how you feel about yourself. I have I know someone, and I've asked them. She says she was flat chested prior to. So I'm like, what is a flat chest? She said she had a C cup. I'm like, girl, that's not a flat chest. But she said, so maybe it was more. She said she was flat chested and she wanted to enhance her appearance. I'm like, maybe you just wanted to enhance your confidence based on how the society and the messaging makes you feel that to be attractive, you have to have huge boobs, like boobs out there, right? And so women are constantly seeking, all of us as women, we're constantly seeking to improve ourselves. Don't get me wrong. It's all about self-improvement and living your best life and putting your best foot forward, right? So that you can be the best that you can be at all times, right? And so for me, it was a question. When I was young, I didn't even wear a bra. Prior to having children, I didn't even need a bra. I was, like I said, this is going to be intimate and personal. I didn't even need a bra. I probably was like an A cup minor, right? So I didn't even wear a bra. But then when I became pregnant with my first child, was the first time I realized that I needed to cover my boobs. So we went and got a bra. I was introduced to the world of bras where underwire was a thing. So they called them back then push-up bras. Remember that? Push-up bras. And of course, Victoria's Secret peddles that stuff like crazy. So I went and I got some. But the way that other manufacturers made them, you could feel the underwire cutting into your skin over time. With Victoria's Secret, they're padded. They're padded so you don't feel it. So I've been wearing Victoria's Secret bras for more than 20 years now, from the birth of my first child. I have always worn them because I've always felt like they support my boobs better and they make me feel more. The underwire does not dig into the flesh as much as the others do. Right? I'm just going to shut this one down because it's just not responding. And it won't even shut down. So anyway, carrying on. And so what happens is, as I got in the last 2 years, I think, was when I began to realize that the underwire was pinching me. So you put on your bra when you wake up, you shower, you get dressed. And for most of us, we have long days, like 12 or 14-hour days. I typically don't take my bra off until the end of the day when I'm getting undressed and getting ready to shower. So I'm just like every woman. When I come home, I have to make dinner, right? So whether that dinner is takeout or you're going to stop, but you still have to prepare it. You still have to fix it and serve it, right? So I'm still dressed. You just put an apron over your clothes so your clothes don't get messy. Am I talking to any woman out there? That's just our life, right? That's just what we do. And then, so I'm wearing a bra until the end of the day. So in the last 2 years, I've begun to realize that the underwire was cutting into my flesh. And I'm like, it became very uncomfortable. So I would tell myself, okay, depending on where I'm going, I would wear a certain kind of bra. So then I started changing my bras out. So maybe I've had these too long, because a typical Victoria's Secret bra will last you. You'll have like 4 good years out of it, right? And then you can still wear it, but it's still good. So when I looked at it, I've had some of them for a while. When I checked it, I had bought some. Maybe the 2 years ago, they were like 4 years old. So I was like, maybe that's a problem. So I went and got new sets. Still had the underwire problem. So I went back to the store and I'm like, maybe I should get something else. Still had the problem. And the problem continued. So this year, earlier in the year, I started talking about it to my children. And they said, maybe I should. A friend of mine had said years ago, one of the benefits of doing breast augmentation was that she doesn't need to wear a bra. She can just wear stuff to cover her nipples under certain garments, but she doesn't need to wear a bra because they keep your breasts up all the time, and you don't have bra straps showing at the back of your dress and so on. So for somebody like me, who people look at you all the time, and they can tell what kind of undergarments you have on because people are just so curious, and you don't want to be conscious when you are speaking. You want the focus to be on your content, but not on you, right? So I've tried to figure out, well, am I doing something wrong? So I was like, let me go see what's going on. So I went to look up, to do some research. What I found about breast augmentation was very, very shocking. I found out that people who have done breast surgeries, you get a line under your boobs, it comes out, but you have to do it every 10 years. And then, of course, I'd always been concerned that inserting something in your body, what if the bone moves, you're jogging or moving and the bone hits it? Would it puncture it? If it leaks into your body and you don't know, would you have an infection? And of course, I found out that all those things were true. So I'm like, well, breast augmentation, I'm one of those persons, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. I'm one of those persons who is a firm believer of that. So I don't believe that I should go fix something that is not broken, right? So I tried not to do that. So then I had to go back to Victoria's Secret to figure out, what am I doing? So I started asking everybody else around me, well, what kind of bras do you wear? What do your bras look like? And I was in for like a rude awakening. I was in for a shock when people started telling me their horror stories of how their boobs react to the bras that they give us to wear. So I said, okay, so I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who this is happening to. Great. Give myself a cookie. Here's your cookie, Harriet. But then I still wasn't satisfied. No, I like everybody else, I like pretty stuff. Who doesn't? And who doesn't want to wear undergarments that are pretty and appealing? It makes you feel better about yourself. You feel feminine, more feminine than you are. And you're also more confident. I also like my clothes to stay in place, right? Another time I'll talk about what kind of undergarments you should wear under what kind of clothing, because sometimes I see some stuff and I'm like, no, girl, no, just don't go there, right? But I felt like this was something that I needed to do because I felt like this was something that folks sometimes ignore, right? So there I am, right? Trying to figure out what I need to do. So I went back to Victoria's Secret and I'm like, they must have something that does not have underwire. I was in the mall and I saw an ad from one of the other clothing makers. I'm not sure if it was Lane Bryant or Ashley Women or something, and it suggested that it can make bras without undergarments, but of course they wouldn't have had me in their size, so I couldn't go into their store. So I said, well, maybe they only make that for certain sizes. So I said, well, here we go again. So I went back to Victoria's Secret and I'm like, I just need a bra that doesn't have underwire, that gives me support, because I like when do you see what I'm saying? I like when I don't feel my bras on. I don't like knowing that I don't like feeling it. I like to think that it's not on, right? I like to think that it's not there. Like everybody else. I don't know how guys feel, but like most of us women, we want to not feel the bra. You don't want to feel the straps on your back. You don't want to feel the indent, because it leaves indentations, especially for women who are, not more naturally endowed. And I just don't want to feel it, right? So I said to myself, something is off here. So let me go and figure out what I need to do so that I could figure it out. So I went back to Victoria's Secret, and of course, they have the answer to everything, because they must be listening to what people are saying. And so they have the answer. And so I decided that I'm going to show you what it looks like. So what some of them look like. And the choice that I made that I thought was best for me, and I hope it would be the best for the women you now, or for you. Now, the thing about it is, it's the kind of thing that is so intimate and personal. Most people don't want to touch it. Most people don't want to talk about it because it's like putting yourself out there. But can I just be honest? You know me by now. I'm transparent and honest. I can't do the hiding stuff because I found that if I'm going through this, I tend to think that there are other people who are experiencing the same thing as I am experiencing, right? So I tended to think that if that is the case, then I'm not alone. There are other people who are having similar issues. And so I went to go figure, you know me, I'm going to go try to find an answer to this and figure out what's going on. So I went to look this up. And so one of the things that I discovered about it that made me very uncomfortable was what? That underwires in bras are a contributing factor to your boobs getting ill, right? And I watched a documentary that showed what the underwire does when it pushes into the skin beneath the skin underneath your bra. And I was taking deep breaths. I literally I was breathless. And I was like, could I have been doing it to myself? So boom, this was back in November. Started to become concerned. So I went and did, it's that time of the year. I went and did the breast augmentation thingy. The what is it? The screening, the breast imaging screening. So when they said, would you like to do the 3D image? I'm like, yes, I want to see everything. I want to see the whole boob, what it looks like, and everything. I don't want to find out 2, 3, 5 years from now that I could have done something about something. So let me know. I was terrified. Every other woman in the room, we were literally looking at each other and be so scared because you can't see your boob on the inside. You can only see what's on the outside. And what you can see on the outside doesn't half tell you what is going on the inside. So I was so scared, but I literally was holding my hand and I was trusting God that He was going to take me through this time and that I was going to come out on the other end of it fine and everything is going to be fine. So here's what happened to me. So I'm going to show you. Are you ready? Are you ready for my big reveal? I'm going to show you what my bra, what a typical bra for me looks like. Now, I am girly, right? So don't judge me. I'm female, right? And I like nice things. So don't judge me, right? And I also like pretty things. So if I'm going to wear something, it not only does it, I don't just wear it because it's functional, but it has to be appealing. So this is what my typical bra looks like. Note well the underwire. See the underwire? Like I said, with Victoria's Secret, their stuff is very padded. See? So this is the underwire underneath the cup, what is called the cup of the bra that holds it up. Now, I like when I put my bras on and I don't feel my boobs. They need to be free. They need to feel. I like the feeling I described to the woman who was measuring, the young woman who was measuring me was floating. Like when my boobs feel like they're floating, right? It's like I told you, I did tell you this was going to be intimate and personal. So this is what a typical bra looks like, right? So note well, sometimes they don't make them with a very thick strap because sometimes the thicker the strap is, it digs into your skin. And I don't like that, right? It digs into your skin. It leaves indentations here. But what for me is a thing is under here. I can't handle that, right? And your boob is such that it's not just what you see here at the top. Your boob goes all the way back to under your arm. So when I said I have a problem, they said, well, we have a variety of options. They have some stuff now called bralettes that are mostly lace, but it's too much work to put it on. Number one, it's not functional with the clothes because I'm not a teenager. So I don't wear t-shirts every day. You see what I mean? If I wore t-shirts and I could wear those halter looking ones, the ones that look like a halter dress, I could wear them, but that's not my lifestyle, right? So I have to wear a bra that can slip underneath my clothing. So if I choose to leave my arms out, I'm just as comfortable. So you might ask, then why don't you wear a bra without a strap? Well, for most of us, the ones they make are not as back me up, ladies, they're not as comfortable and functional. You can wear it for an hour or two, but on an extended long-term daily basis, you're moving your arm up and down, you're sitting at your desk, you're moving your arm, you're driving, you're going to the store. It's not functional. It still has underwire issues. If you don't have, it seems to me like they don't want to do the research to make sure that even if they give you something that can hold your boob up without underwire, because underwires probably are cheaper, right? Okay, so while I was there, the young lady suggested that I wear a sports bra. So many of you are saying, well, why don't you wear a sports bra? The thing with the sports bra, like I said, it shows too much under your clothes. I want something that's seamless. Like it has the stuff that comes up here, and that's not, it's just not comfortable, and it's not physical, it's not appealing, right? Based on how the clothes are today. But I found something that was similar to a sports bra, and I nearly fell out. I swear to you, if they still have it, ladies, go get this stuff. Look at this. Hello. Look at this bad boy. It has no underwire right here. I don't know what material it's made of. It's kind of foamy, but when I wear it, oh, it's like heaven. I don't feel anything under here. I don't feel my boobs don't hurt. You know that feeling? Because sometimes when you put the bra on, if you're wearing and ladies, some of you need to go get measured. Trust me. Because what happens is when you put the bra on, if it's still hurting you, chances are it's not covering all of your boob. You have bigger boobs than you think, and you don't know it. So you have to go get measured. So when you put the bra on, what happens is you are squishing the boob all the way forward like this, and it hurts you. Padded with the underwire, you are dead in the water, right? So this beautiful baby is what I resorted to. So it has no underwire. It supports my boob, and you buy it in your cup size. I think these only come in like small, medium, large, and extra large. So of course you choose the one that's applicable for your size. So let them go and measure you across, and then it will tell you what cup size you are. It still has the thingy at the back, like a sports bra. But here's the kicker. When you put it together, it's foamy, so it stretches. So it comes down beneath your dress line. You see what I mean? And it supports you, and it still holds your boob in just like the cup of this one does, right? I love this. These are, oh God, this was, don't talk. They're exciting. Wearing these things are exciting. I don't know how women don't like this stuff, but it's exciting, right? But now, so these now, I can only wear these for if it's an hour or two. I cannot wear these for 8 hours any day. So if my regular day, my day starts when I get up in the mornings. I wake up between 4 and 5. You're thinking, meditating, planning your day out. Then I get up and do my exercises. So I'm up, and once you hit the shower, I'm dressed by 7 a.m. most mornings. So by 7 p.m., that's what, a 12-hour day, right? Unless I come home and change again, shower and change to go do something else, I am still wearing a bra for 12 to 14 hours per day. So these bad boys can't do it for me anymore because of that underwire thing. I can only wear these for 2 or 3 hours, and that's it. After that, I start, because it's squishing. So what I have deduced is that over time, over a lifetime of wearing underwire, I think it has probably done some damage. Why it's making me so uncomfortable, or it's a call to action. Change. It's coming. Change it. So this is what I told you it was going to get intimate and personal. So don't make Mitchell Polk. I don't expect you to say anything. I know you have a lot to say, don't you? Right? So this is what. So my challenge to bra makers is make it so it's pretty and attractive. See how this one looks? Make this so it doesn't just look functional, like I'm going to the gym and I'm going to run down a track of 5,000 miles. Make it so that so it's attractive and appealing. So date night, right? And all day. As for me, I treat every day like a date night. Every day I want to look pretty. And it's just part of being a woman. It's just part of being female and feminine and so on. Now, why am I talking about this? Because, like I said, it's intimate and personal. Every woman at some point in our lives is going to do some sort of breast exam. It can be one of the most terrifying moments of your life. It's something you should not go through alone. And nobody wants to go and find out that there is something there. One of the other things that concern me is that the manufacturers have paid huge sums of money not to disclose the real facts about stuff like underwire in your bras. Just like the makers of saline implants for breasts do not tell you how that's in over 450 cases, they found there were 450 cases of breast cancer caused by using texturized breast implants. These people have paid big money to lobby doctors and HMOs and insurance companies to suppress the information that is out there as to the contributing causes of breast cancer. Look at me. Look at me. I'm just like you. Look at me. Please look at me. I am your sister. I am your friend. I'm someone's mother. I'm someone's best thing. I'm someone's whole world, right? You are someone's sister, someone's wife, someone's mother, and you are someone's whole world. There are people who are dependent on your voice, hearing you, seeing you. A text message from you impacts somebody's life. Take care of yourself and listen and do the research yourself. I had to go through and do it because the incidence of breast cancer in women was too much. There are too many women. And I had to start thinking, this is crossing, because at first they were saying poor women could not go to get breast exam. That's why they were dying. Then rich women are dying. Middle class women are dying. So I said, there has to be a commonality. Then they said, well, it's if you have a cancer gene. So go examine if you have a cancer gene. Then they said, after a while, over the years, I started to say there's something more common to that. What is the one thing that is common to all of us as women? You know what it is? This. We all wear a bra, irrespective of our socioeconomic status. Now, a typical Victoria's Secret bra, if you were to walk in there, they're like $55, right? They used to be in the 30, over time they've increased, right? So a typical Victoria's Secret bra is $55. If you go to like Hollywood, what's that other one I like? The other, it starts with an H. I like theirs. Theirs are pretty and exciting too, right? But you can also go and buy another type of bra, and you might pay $9.99 for it, but the underwire is going to kill you. So as for me, I'm going to buy the one that at least padded. That's what I've been telling myself for years. Buy the one that's at least padded. It would minimize the damage. Still doesn't matter. We still, as women, are exposed to the same common dilemma. It's what we put on our bras. So it's summer season. Another thing I found in my research was that if you wear dark colored bras during the summer, the dye in the bra seeps into your skin and impacts cancer. So don't wear underwire bras. And don't wear dark colored bras during the summer heat, and so on. So for the most people who live like in Florida and Arizona and Southern California, Texas, and Nevada, right? Southern Nevada, are you hearing me? Stay away from dark colored bras. If your temperature most of the year is hot, stay away from dark colored bras. Period. If you live in northern climes like I do, then so in the summer months, I had to remind myself that it's still kind of, it's going to get warm. So I stopped wearing dark colored clothing during the summer. Am I saying it's a panacea or is it a placebo? No, I am just saying that it is going to help. So ladies, go look at the bras that you wear. My mother was heavy chested, right? Mom couldn't buy a bra in a store. She had to order it. She was like a G or something, right? So hers were like a harness. When you could put, one day she was putting one of them on, and I did like you saw in Gone with the Wind. I put my foot in her back to do it. She said, girl, if you don't stop it. I was like, Mom, you need to harness all these things up. Right? But one of the things that she didn't do when she was home was she never wore a bra. Ladies, when you get home, take your bras off. If you exercise, put on a sports bra. Don't go running without some sort of support because it hurts the muscles. The muscles in our breasts are delicate. I know our breasts are beautiful to look at and so on, and they incite all kinds of exciting things in men and blah, blah, blah. But think of yourself. You are someone's sister, someone's mother, someone's grandma. You're someone's everything. Your world is such that somebody depends on everything that you say or do. So take care of yourself. And these are, maybe it's just me, it's a Harriet thing. I just talk about this kind of stuff. Maybe nobody else whom you admire or follow is going to get this up close and personal with it. But I felt like I couldn't ignore it anymore. The evidence of it was damaging. And even with my children, I have daughters, and they're complaining about underwire. They're complaining about how it feels at the end of the day, and they're younger, so it's so they're becoming more aware of it. And in fact, when I was in the Victoria's Secret store, it was my children too also helped me. Take a look at this. Now, if you look at this bra, right? So this is what a typical bra looks like, right? So the underwire stretches from here to here. This part is the part that I'm concerned about. Because see, when you put this on, this sinks into the side. So when you have this and you have this, it's double trouble. Now, having wire here, it just has a foam-like feely thing that when I remember standing in the store and I was saying to myself, what on earth gives? Why couldn't someone have discovered this years ago? Why did so many women had to die from breast cancer or be diagnosed with breast cancer? Breast cancer is such a life sentence. Nowadays, the survival rates are so low. They're telling us that if anybody has had cancer after 5 years, the person can significantly, let's say they're out of it. Well, the cancer is returning before 5 years. And sometimes it's returning on the 5th year or just before the 5th year. So it's almost as if the cancer has become immune to what they're using to kill it. Well, frankly, chemotherapy is what they're using. And chemotherapy is liquid radiation that kills you all faster than the cancer does anyway, right? So my take on this is, ladies, go out and look for this. Go to Victoria's Secret. I don't know. It's just a sports bra. Look at their sports bras, and it changes underwire. It changes the whole dynamic. There's another major clothing supplier. I think it's either Lane Bryant or Soma. I think it's Soma, Soma. I think they too also sell bras without underwire, but you have to go to their website, or if there's a Soma store, Soma, in a mall near you. It depends on what you like. If you still want to feel exciting, there's that terrific Hollywood something, the fantasy one that sells stuff, but then you're only wearing that for 10, 15, or 20 minutes, right? So I guess that's for specific occasions. But if you're going to walk, like most of us, we have busy lives, we have things we have to do. We need the support because our boobs are heavy. Do you know that boobs are almost one third of your body weight? So ladies, when you get on the scale and you wonder why you're not losing weight, they're not really telling us all the truth, are they? They're just making you feel bad. But boobs are like one third of your body weight, just so you know. And a typical boob weighs 3 pounds. One boob weighs 3 pounds. So if if you're chesty, guess what? One boob probably weighs 5 pounds. And if you're like my mother, who was a G, well, one of them probably weighed 20 pounds, right? So your boobs are heavy. And the skin that holds it up, the muscles that hold it up, they do wear over time. They tend to get relaxed just because. And it happens. Have you seen young girls who are chesty? They too have boobs that, it relaxes. because the boobs have to settle somewhere. The stuff that makes the boob booby, it settles. It doesn't just stay up all the time. The boobs that stay up all the time are not real. They're fake. That's the breast implant stuff. And ladies, if you've ever done a breast implant or you know someone who has done it, remember to tell them to go in for a 10-year checkup. Every 10 years, they're required to go in and take it out. Guess what? The surgery to replace it, to take it out or replace it, is much more expensive than the surgery to put it in the first place. And you're like, what? Yes, it's a conundrum that you find yourself in. So my thing is, I'll never do a breast implant. I am scared. They scared me. They scared me buckets because I am like, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. I thank God for what He has given me, and I am just gonna deal with it. Wear a push-up bra for 2-3 hours if you have to, ladies. But I would not suggest that any woman. I don't care if you have an A cup. If that affects your confidence about yourself so much, you probably need to re-examine what you are allowing to put into you. A lot of what is influencing people today, you know what it is? Celebrity stars or people who are celebrities. They pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and they have access to the best doctors. So they have money to go take the implants out. And they pay a lot of money to go get their breasts done, right? And when they do, it works for them until they get sick because they have better doctors, so they have better screening mechanisms that can see a problem from a mile away. Most people just want to be like that want to be things. So most women will tell you, like that show Botched Up Bodies that I had asked you to watch on Netflix some months ago. People were just like, they want to be like Tom, Dick, Harry, or Sally. They want to be like their favorite personality who tells them that if you look like this, it's going to enhance your life. You're going to be more successful. The thing that got to me most was how people felt they were going to be more loved, that they were going to attract some guy and he was going to find them so beautiful, so adoring, that you go to put things in your bodies that end up making you sick. Choosing to have elective surgery that isn't. Recently, a well-known personality here in the Metro Detroit area said she went and had a brain surgery. And she posted some pictures on how the surgery, the recovery from it, is affecting her face. Like you don't see because you don't know her well enough. But the people who know her well enough obviously are used to her face and they can see it. But when I looked at them before, I never really paid attention to this person before. I didn't even know they existed until the local media. But when I looked at the before and after pictures, I'm like, hold on, something wrong here. When she went in, her face was straight. When she comes out, her face is a little fuller and her lips look like they have been augmented. So I'm like, which surgery was it? Did you go in to do the brain surgery, or when you came out, you decided to give yourself Black woman lips, right? Do you see what I mean? So other people now looking at it are saying, well, I want to have lips like her. So they go and they put fillers in their lips. The fillers are bad. The fillers are made from stuff that contain bacteria that you're putting into your body. Similarly, you think if you have bigger boobs, you're going to attract some guy and he's going to stay with you. Baby, no. If you were watching yesterday, you would know no matter who you are or what you do. If they don't like you, they don't like you. If they don't want you, they don't want you. So getting bigger boobs is not going to help. You see what I mean? Getting bigger boobs is not going to be the determining factor why they stay with you. Take care of yourself. Be your best person. Do what is best for you and your body. You only have this one body to walk around in. My name is Harriet Kamak. I only look like this. I'm made like this. You see what I'm saying? I can't go switch my body out or take this suit off and become Harriet Kamak in another body. So I don't perform experiments on my body. I do put on stuff that you can remove, like makeup. You wipe it off and your face and your eyes are still the same. Like similarly, I don't do fake lashes. 2 years, it was the first time I ever wore fake lashes in my life. As much as I have been in beauty pageants and done modeling, I never wore fake lashes. I just wore mascara all my life. But a couple of years ago, I was going on a TV show, and I went to do my makeup, and they said put lashes on. By the end of the night, I was ripping that thing off. It attacked my eye, the glue in it attacked my eyeballs. I kept itching and trying to figure it out. I don't know how I stayed focused for 15 minutes. I must have looked frightened, trying to keep my eyes open. Everything is not for everybody. Some people have good estheticians I have one friend who wears lash extensions and it works for her. But her eyes are constantly red because she also wears contacts. And I'm like, you only have those two eyes. So while you're busy doing that, think about the damage that you're doing. So there are some things that I won't do unless it's medically necessary, right? I used to think that I would do a facelift when the time comes. And then I went to do the research on how they lift your face off and peel this. And I was like, hell no. And then they do the thing for the nose. They break the bone to, oh God, no. Just no, people. Then people don't like their arms, so they go and cut themselves and suck it out and cut off pieces of their flesh and stitch it back up. People want slimmer legs, so they go and cut off pieces of them. They want to have protruding kneecaps because that makes you look younger. I'm like, do 60 squats a day and you'll begin to see your kneecaps emerge. How about that? Right? But they want a quick result. People want bigger butts, so they go inject cement and fillers in your butts. And then you get bacteria. And then you get sick. Let me see what you're all saying over here. Dr. Simpson. Fredericks of Hollywood. Dr. Simpson, I'm not going to ask how you know that. Fredericks of Hollywood. How do you know that? I'm not going to ask. You're shaking your head like, don't say it loud because your wife may hear. Yeah, I get it. Right? Fredericks of Hollywood, they do have these too. So, if that is your thing, wear it for 2-3 hours max. So that's date night stuff. When you're going to an interview stuff, when you want to feel good, extra feel good stuff, 2 to 3 hours, and that's it. But long term, when you have to, walk around, do all the things we do as women, in a typical day, what don't we do? Think about it. Our days are so long, and then you work full time, you come home, you have to make dinner. So this is me all evening. I have an apron on over my clothes cooking. In the mornings, I'm making breakfast. I have an apron over my clothes and I'm cooking. And my kids are standing there like, hold on. I have 2 daughters and they're like, wait just a minute, Mom. Is this what life is going to be like? And I'm like, yep. You'll be cook. I said, you will find yourself doing it and you don't even realize nothing changed. You just switch, boom, boom. Breakfast, what you want? Eggs? How you like your eggs? Boom. You like Spanish style eggs? Boom. No, make that. And then you come out and you go in your car and you get on to solving the world's problems. You begin by solving the problems, your world of problems in your home. Right? It's amazing what we do. So now, do you men appreciate us women? We go through all this to enhance our appearance because we think it makes us more appealing to the men to whom we want to be, the men we're attached to, the person whom we feel emotionally attached to. That's really what this is, right? So I'm not talking about the folks who do it just to get attention. They go put in a triple G or triple E or something just to go do it. And ladies, can I just say this? Have you gone to get your boobs measured? Have you? Please do that. Please do that. Go get your boobs measured. I was in for a rude awakening when I went to get these the other day. I was literally shocked at what happened. Let's just say I sat down for a minute there. Yeah, I found myself, I just said, hold on, let me sit. She said, okay, ma'am, sit while you're sitting there. You'd be surprised how much you change over time, right? And you really don't need the surgery that you think you do. Think about that. What kind of exercise? They even asked me that. Do you you look like you work out. Which ones do you do? They even asked me that. So what I'm saying is, as much as over time gravity pulls the muscles that hold the boob up, how about going the other way of gravity all day, every day? Just Keep the arms up. Ladies, keep your arms up. Arms up. Hearts open wide, right? So hold your arms up and bring them up and do this to help the boob, right? Do exercises for your boobs. Your boob health is your health. Trust me. Trust me about that. You don't want to go, our boobs are so personal. They have impact our intimate relationships with the man we're intimate with, and it impacts your children. One of the worst things can happen to your children is hear their mother has breast cancer. You know what that child is thinking? Those were the same breasts that fed them when they were little, that gave them life and fed them, right? So a man is thinking those are the same boobs from his wife that gave him pleasure and comfort. Yes, he thinks of comfort because when he was on his mom's boobs, or if he didn't get his mom's boob, he felt deprived. So he thinks of comfort. He's not going to tell you, but that's what it is. Subliminally, that's the messaging. So we have to take care of ourselves. I can't say it enough. If you have underwire bras, head over to Victoria's Secret real quick. Go in for a consultation first, get measured, because I was shocked when I got measured. I had been wearing the wrong cup size for years. I was wearing a cup size that was 2 sizes smaller than I needed. Naturally, my boobs were hurting. So what was happening was it was pushing my boobs like this when they should have been relaxed. And as much as possible, ladies, while you're at home, go braless. Do you know that there was a time when they used to tell us that to keep your boobs up, you should sleep in a bra? So I did that. Especially after I had my first child, I was terrified that I would lose my boobs and that, they were going to go south and I was going to look droopy and stuff like that. So I slept in a bra. It was uncomfortable, but I told myself the pain was worth it, right? And then I found out that I was hurting myself because when you lay down, and that's another thing, ladies, if you don't ever lay down in your bra, because when you lay down, the underwire, it pushes right up into the flesh. You can't begin to imagine the damage that we're doing to our bodies. It's unbelievable. It's totally unbelievable, the stuff we do to our bodies. So take care of yourselves. It makes you wonder, people who insert all kinds of stuff into their anuses, if they ever see how it looks on a 3D image and what happens. You should talk to emergency room folks. When people go, you should let them tell you what happens, what they have extracted out of people's anuses. It would shock you to death, the things that we do to our bodies. We treat our bodies as if they're expendable and that they're so easily extrapolated that you can just do whatever and do whatever. Not so. Let me see what folks are saying. Mitchell Poe, feel free and let it loose. I knew you would have something to say that was not in keeping with it. But if you're just joining us, this is what I'm talking about. This is what a typical push-up bra that I had issues with because it was squeezing my boobs. And for some of us who are heavy-chested, we kind of don't have a choice. You can't just walk around without a bra on because then it would incite a public riot, right? And people tend to look at you. They look at your boobs. So lately, I haven't been... In a moment of transparency, I have been wearing some tube tops underneath my clothing. And I'm like, something, my boobs have kind of earned the right to be who they are, right? They've paid the price, right? So I went to a restaurant recently and I was out and I was sitting down. I was standing, waiting to be seated. And there was this guy across from me. And he must have been like in his early 70s or something. He was staring at me, but I felt like he wasn't, I wasn't seeing his eyes, so he wasn't staring at me. I found out he was looking. So my daughter turned around and she said, well, that man over there is having a pretty hard time staring, isn't he? And she looked and she said, Mom, what do you think he's staring at? And I was like, oh my God, turned and walked away. So yes, for some of you, if you go without a bra, it is going to incite a public riot. So what I suggest is it's a sports bra type thing. Now, some sports bras, I know you're going to say sports bras, some of them don't give you support. They're changing that now. They're changing that. It has a feel like support. I don't know what it's made from. See how flexible it is? So, but when you put it on, your boobs stays in place, right? And it just sits on top of it without looking like, okay, well, you know, you've given birth and you've nursed, like you've suckled like 55 people, right? So it does improve, that. Whereas with this bad boy, you put this on, yeah, it's attractive, it's pretty, it's one of my favorites, and it's one of my favorite colors. But this thing right here is only good for 2 3 hours. It kills you. And I didn't want to post a picture because I didn't want to gross you out, but I did some looking up on the images. You feel free to do that on what the underwire looks like under here. And ladies, we know our bodies, we're intimate with that. You take your bra off at the end of the day and it feels like freedom. And then you look and you say, oh my gosh, especially if you're heavily chested, your boob is so heavy. You're like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? And let's just face it, that's just how we are made. We're made with these beautiful uh, yeah, things on our bodies that are attractive and appealing. And we need to take care of them because we can't see what goes on. So there are a couple of things I want you to do for me. I want you to go and get measured, right? Every woman, raise your hand. Say me, I'm holding you accountable to it because you need to do this to take care of yourself. Go and get measured. Most of us are wearing the wrong bra size. I did not know that until it happened to me. For years, I thought I was one size. Then I went in and I was wearing 2 sizes less than I should have. So that was it. And I went in because I was feeling like my boob was getting squished. And they're like, well, you have the right size across, but I was wearing 2 sizes less, 2 cup sizes less. So ladies, go get measured real quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's important. Second thing, underwire bras are for date night. Say that. Underwire bras are for date night. Say it one more time. Underwire bras are for date night because date night lasts what, 2 3 hours max. It's over. You take it off and you're free. Good. Sports bras. They're our new best friends because not the ones that just let stuff hang out there. Those will cause a public riot while you're exercising. But the ones like this one from Victoria's Secret that gives you a support here and a support around here. Right? Right. That I need you to do. And I know you've all done your mammograms. Everybody went and did a breast exam. Okay. So you are scared to find out what the results are. Can I just show you something? Because over time, especially, as we mature, apparently some of us grow, mine grew, right? So one of the things I learned to do in between my mammograms and so on, one of the things I do is I do this on a daily basis. They recommend while you're standing up in the shower, you do a breast exam, do a self-exam. Ladies, hold your hand up, use your other hand and lift your boob and massage it. Feel if there's anything that feels funny, anything that this wasn't there. If you do it every day consistently, you will know immediately. So every day, do your own massage. Sometimes you never do it or you've never done it. And then something happens and you go. Like I had a situation about 6 months ago with a young woman. You ready for this? She was 32, y'all. She had never done a self-exam because she's 32. And one morning she was showering and she felt when she bumped her breast against the shower wall, she felt like she had hit a rock. And when she examined her breast, she found some lumps. She found a lump, then 2. Then she examined the other breast and found more. In a panic, she called her doctor. Because she's 32, guess what? They didn't want to do a breast imaging because she's 32. They said impossible. So that's how come I got involved. She told someone I know, and I went to see her immediately. I had met her maybe once before, but it was such an urgent thing. I went and talked to her. We prayed about it, and I encouraged her to go back to the doctor and insist. I said, change the doctor if you have to. When you go in there, if there's a female doctor in there, change the doctor and insist. She did the biopsy. And by the time they wouldn't let her do the breast imaging nor the biopsy. I said, okay, here's what you do. Go into the emergency room and start bawling that you're having pain in your breast and see how quickly they will run to you. Tell them you just saw blood come out of it and so on. She did exactly that. She was on her way to the emergency room. I kid you not. She called me and I said, we're going to pray right now. You're going to meet the right doctor. The right person at the right time makes all the difference in the world. Do you know that? And we prayed on the phone and she went into the emergency room. And sure enough, she started saying, oh, her breasts were in pain. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, all of a sudden, they brought out the breast imaging machine, right? And they're like, well, let's take a look, see what's going on. Within 30 minutes, they confirmed that there were some lumps in the breast and they needed to do the biopsy to determine if it were benign or malignant. So we started praying again. I said, this is going to be a benign one. So I said, you're going to change your diet. We talked about diet. We talked about that. And she's still here with us today. Now, they do have her scheduled for follow-up, which is, say, the best outcome. Now, this is the 32-year-old young woman with 2 children. Her children, she is their whole world. Her children are all under 10, right? So imagine if she were, because we started thinking, I said, you have to start planning. You have a house, you have this, you have to make plans for life because you're not alone. You have 2 children to whom you are their whole world, right? So we talked about all kinds of stuff. The end result is that she's good. And it was late last summer, it was early fall, and I can't begin to tell you how much that impacted me because she's 32 years old. Anything could have happened. If her doctors had not listened to her, that thing could have stayed there and festered and become malignant. You never know the outcome of it, right? She said the lumps have not, and by the way, last conversation I had with her, the lumps have not gone away. She doesn't even want to talk about it. The lumps never went away. They're still there. And I was like, well, what is the doctor saying? What are the alternatives to reduce that? And she said, what do you mean? And I said, they should tell you what kind of medication is available to reduce it. And that was when she says, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Do you see? Our attitudes about health impact our health. Some of us feel that I'm not going to talk about it. If I don't talk about it, it's not real. And that rarely ever helps. It comes from this thing where we don't want bad news. If we talk about it, then it's established as a thing. But at the same time that you say it, you have to counteract it with something positive. Even if it is so, you have to say, but I believe that I'm fine, that I am well, I'm healthy. You have to counteract the negative by saying that. You see what I mean? So for me, this is a personal journey because it impacts people whom I know and it impacts my own personal health. And for the love of God in Christ Jesus, but for the grace of God, I go. I declare healing and health over myself and over you all the days of your life. May you live in continual health. May you always find the answers that you need. And may you be well in the name of Jesus. That's just my thing that I pray for you and I pray for myself. So ladies, help me to help ourselves, right? It brings tears to my eyes because every time a diagnosis of breast cancer comes to a woman's life, I think of the children, I think of the people she leaves behind, I think of her spouse, I think of her children and what she's someone's whole world. To her, to their world, she's everything, right? And to your world, you are everything. Do you realize that? You are everything in someone's world. Their whole world revolves around you. Yeah, I don't listen to all the noise they say. No. But if anything were to happen to you, watch what happens, right? You don't want that. So ladies, examine yourselves. Do self-exam. I do mine nightly because that's the best time of day for me, right? I examine my boobs myself, right? If I feel anything is untoward, or thank God it's never happened, that I run to the doctor. So examine yourselves and go get measured. Hey, what did I say? Go get measured. You need to go get measured. Sometimes for some women, it's when they go to get measured that they discover something is wrong. It doesn't feel right. Examine your boobs. And ladies, know this. The only time fluid comes out of your boobs is when? Let me hear if you know. When you are giving suck. When you are nursing a baby. Any kind of fluid that comes out of your breast, it's not normal. So if you ever see fluid come out of your breast and you're not pregnant and you're not nursing a baby, you need to go examine that. Something is not right. Don't shy away from it and say, oh my God, I'm so scared, Harriet. I don't want to find out. I know, I know. But if you don't, you need to know early so you can take the best precautions that are necessary to avoid it. That's what it's all about. Because in today's world, they're not providing the best medicine to keep us healthy. We have to become our own physicians and we have to become the guardians of our own health. We own our health. So we have to do it because they're not going to help us. The way the system is rigged is that the system is rigged based on so many people getting sick so that they can make money. The hospitals make money, the clinics, the treatment centers. This is why when you drive through certain communities, what do you see? What do you see? Tell me. You see a whole lot of dialysis centers. You know why? What does dialysis do? It washes the kidneys out, right? Well, think about it. What goes through your kidneys? Your everything, all the stuff in your body, your kidney is like this processing plant that washes stuff out. Why are there so many dialysis centers? We're not eating right, and they know it. People are getting sicker and sicker. People are dropping from diabetes and high blood pressure. And you go into the doctor for one thing, and they give you a pill that makes you sick in some other way, right? So be guardians of our health. Take care of our bodies. Take care of what you eat. And I know the food is bad. Yes, you best believe it is. You can eat like the monks in Tibet, right? You can eat organic stuff. The soil isn't even good, y'all. Recently, I saw my neighbor. She's in her 70s, and she was holding a bottle of Roundup that she was spraying on her lawn. I wanted to run over there and grab it. And I'm like, all the chemicals that are in our environments, we got to think about that. It's just like in your garage. Have you looked in your garage? All the stuff that is in there, all those fumes are coming into our homes. You drive into the garage and you park, the exhaust fumes are seeping onto the door into our homes. You see, so we're not as unexposed as we think we are. We don't think about it, but it's there, right? So we have to just be careful. They come and they do the insecticide stuff. Don't stay in the house. Try to be out of the house for 8 hours so it can be absorbed by the insects and turn the air on and open the windows so it goes out. You see what I'm saying? It's some of these things that we have to pay attention to, right? Wash our veggies. Sometimes we go to the store, we pick up the fruits and stuff, and we don't wash it off. When you go home, fill up a pan of water or the sink with some water and put the dishwashing soap in it and use your hands or a sponge and wash it off and let them air dry. Wash your veggies off, let them air dry. You will find it's such a different texture from the veggies you just picked up and the veggies you wash. You will be amazed at it. You buy lettuce, you're going to make, the salad in a bag? I'm not saying anything. I stopped doing that bad stuff years ago because I kept feeling like, why does it have a smell and why does it feel different? So I just buy the lettuce and stuff and I put it in a pan of water and shake it out. Have you ever just left it in water? When you come back, the water is cloudy. In some plants like kale and so on, they put even the soil in the bag. The soil is tainted. It has insecticides and pesticides in it. So it's bad. So you have to put it in the water, let it soak, and before you cook it and eat it, right? Think, some of the stuff that recently the CDC said don't wash chicken, and I'm like, are you nuts? You're setting people up for E. coli and all kinds of bacteria and salmonella? Heck no. Wash your meats with vinegar. Wash your meats with vinegar before you cook. And the cutting board that you use to cut the meat on, wash it off with bleach, right? And the knife that you use to cut the meat, I know you. Some of you are so finicky. You're germaphobes, but you don't want to say that you are. I can just imagine how disinfectified some of your homes are. If I were to walk in there, I probably would bring a germ with me because your homes are so sanitized, right? So the knife you use to cut the meat, you don't use it to cut the veggies. You don't even wash it off. Some people wash it off and then use it to cut the veggies. I have like 12 knives. I use one to cut this, one to cut that. The cutting board, boom, 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 with spray bleach on that bad boy. Spray bleach is my favorite thing, right? Right? Just this, it's the little things. It's the little things, right? I wash my tomatoes, my lettuce, my cucumbers, and so on. The fruits. Oh yeah, I wash that bad boy and put them down. I'm not eating it like that because they spray the insecticide. You do know that, right? They just randomly spray to get rid of bugs and stuff. But we're beginning to realize that maybe we should leave the bugs on, right? Because putting the insecticide and the pesticide on it has not done us any harm. Go down in your basement, for instance. Look what you have down there as chemicals, right? Recently, I went into my basement. There's a storage area in the basement, and I had to call the handyman to put it in the garage. I was like, what? I'm like, all these fumes. I said, Harry, you weren't thinking. All these fumes. It's coming off where our bodies are breathable, or our bodies are organic. You realize that. Our bodies are part of the environment. That's why when we die, we decompose because we are organically built. We're not made of plastic or wood, right? Our bodies are made like that. So guess what it does? Our skin is the largest organ on the body. It breathes. So everything it comes in contact with, it breathes. If you don't believe me, do this simple thing. Rub a piece of garlic on the bottom of your feet. You all know that. And before you know it, the taste will be in your mouth. So everything in our environment is inhalable. We breathe it in. Think about that. I was one of those persons who, gosh, if I walked past you, you would smell like 12,000 perfume bottles, right? I use like 3 different scents. I stopped doing that. I'm like, not only is it irritating the skin, so you put on lotion and stuff before you apply it, but I began to start thinking all that chemicals is seeping into my body. So I stopped. I use just what is needed to keep the funk down. That's what I said, right? And brush, the usual stuff. Just be careful because the bacteria is out there. A little bacteria is good, it keeps us healthy, but the insecticides and the pesticides that seeps into the ecosystem that provides us with food, that's what the problem is. That's what's killing us. So there are some things, in other words, that we can't avoid, right? So the things that we have some control over, that's the only way, that's the only ambit in which we can move. And this, I found, was one of the things that impacted breast health was this underwire. Ladies, they're never going to tell you. You can search until the sun comes out. They're never going to admit that the underwire is a big contributing cause to breast cancer. But you and I know that if it is squeezing into the flesh and it is ruining the flesh, then if the flesh on the inside is damaged and you don't know what's going to happen. So you think you have a flu or a cold, and it really isn't. It's because your body is trying to get rid of an infection on the inside. If you know anybody who has ever had breast augmentation, because we push our boobs up and we think, of course it looks attractive, I guess, or it makes you look more appealing if that's what you're going for. But think about the cost to you. If you know somebody who has done it, say, yeah, I'm sure you feel good about yourself. It looks nice and all, but men, ask your women, have you replaced it in 10 years? Go and do it. Switch the bras out. These are for everyday long-term wear. And yes, they are attractive. Look at this. This is the back of it. So it still want that lacy look, right? See how it curves? And then when you fasten it together, I should have done that. When you fasten it together, this is how it looks, right? So I still get the coverage. See how the back of it looks? See how the back of it looks, right? So I still get the coverage in here that does not take away. You see what I mean? That when you pull it on, it comes down and it would hide under a dress like this. See? Very important that we do this. Very important. I can't say it enough. I don't know who this was for. I hope it helped you when, just call it Harriet's transparent moments. But I felt like if it were happening to me, it was happening to everybody. It happens. Go get measured. Go get measured. Go get measured. Because you'd be surprised. Because our boobs start from here. Just hold your arm out. Your boob starts from under your arm. Our boob is not just what's here on the front of our chest. Our boobs start from all the way back here. All of this is part of it. That's why we have to be careful what we wear. So, men, you have a responsibility too. You have the responsibility to say to the significant women in your lives, have you gone to get measured? When was your last mammogram? Do you do a daily breast self exam? Maybe it's something you and your partner can do. You encourage her at the end of the day or early in the morning to remember to do it. It's keeping her healthy. It's just like she tells you to wake up and go pee, right? And ask you what's your P's. Like some other time we'll talk about men's health and some of the things to look for based on what I saw my ex-husband experience. God help us. Glad to know he's resting somewhere, right? He's a guinea pig in a lot of cases. But think about some of this stuff. I hope this helped you. I hope this is food for thought, some serious food for thought, right? Serious food for thought. It makes us wonder, what do we do? And so if you were to ask me now, what do I wear daily? I wear these, or I just put on some tube things under my clothes because I'm not gonna wear these. That is killing me at the end of the day. 8 hours, 10-hour days, and that contributes to how you feel at the end of the day. You know, you're constantly massaging under here. Time out for that. Once I learned the truth about it, and the thing that got me the most was the cup size. You gotta get measured. We're wearing the wrong cup size. Trust me, because I had no idea. I was so floored when they measured me. I was totally unprepared for the result. It was crazy. I'm like, what? Wearing the wrong cup size for years. Unbelievable. Imagine how much I had squished my boobs. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I want you to go to my website, harrietkamick.com. I also want you to go to the ExodusFoundation.com. Look at what we do. This is some of the stuff that we do. We talk about helping victims of human trafficking and sexual violence prevention. Those are just some of the things that we do. We provide therapy services for victims of human trafficking in addition to shelter. So help us to make a difference in people's lives. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you taking time out to be with us. I know you're going to have a great day after this. Ladies, what's the word? Get measured, right? Get measured. Say get measured. Get measured. And your daily breast self-exam. Very important that we do that. Thanks, everybody. Be blessed. See you later. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a great day, right? Right. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you taking the time out to be with us. Have a great day. Be blessed, everybody.